points involved here, just the money. The street stocks are on tap first, jumping out to an early point. We're going to see Frank Guerri, this year's points champion, with something to prove. He was fast. He won the championship on a rainout, so he wanted to get out and do well. Here, Jim McGuigan in the 47 loses his tire after going over a bump. His night would be finished. The E7 of Bobby Lutz always giving a hard time to Frank Guerri. Though Bobby gets a little wide here, allowing the 715 of Mike Cooper to get underneath. Bobby's got a fast car. It's a hard time keeping it down on the track. Here you see Bobby getting way high, and here comes Timmy Hare. Gets into him and boom, right into the side of the 5X of Charlie Guerri. His tire would be bent, but Charlie would continue through the night and have a good finish. But it was Frank Guerri's night. He took the checkered flag for the third time in a row. Bobby Lutz came home second, Mike Cooper third, Keith Butler fourth, and Charlie Guerri comes home fifth. Next up on the program was the Pure Stock Division. 27 of Ralph Champion starts on the pole. He's a four-time winner. He's difficult to beat in just about any situation. But tonight he's going to get a little competition. You see the black number 3 there of Ray Vanderlinder, the first-time runner here at Paradise. He's going to challenge Ralph and be all over him throughout the night. He's going to get underneath Ralph a couple of times and make a real shot at taking the lead. But Champion and his 27X are just too tough when it comes down to the end of the straight. You see him trying out on the outside. Here on the last lap, they're even going to use some lap traffic. They're that fast. Ray's going to try and get around them, but it's just not going to happen. Ralph Champion's going to hold on and win his 5th of the 1995 race season. Coming home second, Ray Vanderlinder. Jeff Turnois third. Gene Dillon, the points winner this year, fourth, and Dan Mettler comes home fifth. Next up, it's the four-cylinder modifieds. A glaring omission for the last 2 weeks has been Dale Lagasse, who was involved in a serious road accident. We wish Dale the best. He's home and recovering. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. So, of course, the man who's been real hot, Scott Nolden, in that 15 car, was started on the pole and kept it going. Don Knapp looked hot tonight and tried repeatedly to take the lead away from Nolden. He'd try him on the outside, he'd try him on the inside. He might even pull up next to him, but it was all for naught, because then Don would break coming down on the last 2 laps and enter the pits, leaving it all for Scott Nolden to take the checkered flag and his 6th win of the 1995 season. Behind Scott, Grandpa Bruce Detro comes home second, Tom Mettler third, Terry Congdon fourth, and Roger Phelps comes home fifth. Then it's time for the Youth Pure Stock Division. Looked like it was going to be a regular race. Frank Burnell Jr. and Lance Gillum on the front row. Going down into 1 and 2. They're just about even. Lance gets a little nose on Frank as they hit the backstretch, but then, wow, things get topsy-turvy. Ray Vanderlinder Jr. out there in his father's black number 3 goes over on his roof. Ray Jr. would be okay. He would not be able to continue throughout the night. Coming down the front stretch, it's going to be Lance Gillum in the 3 Jr. in the lead, and the 57B, Frank Burnell Jr., a multi-time winner this year. But look out. There's that 7X out there on the outside. Jessica Newman, last week's winner because some people made some serious mistakes. Well, Jessica's not going to run well tonight because of other people's mistakes. She's going to be just plain fast. Watch her go around Frank and Lance Gillum. She's going to be able to jump right out in front, take the lead away from those guys, and never relinquish it. She's going to come down and take the checkered flag, and Jessica is going to get her 2nd win of the 95 season in front of Frank Burnell Jr., Lance Gillum, Cody Rayome, and Ray Vanderlinder Jr. in 5th. Next up, it's the Premier Division Paradise Speedway, the Sportsman. The front row consisting of Vince Vitale and Dale Darling. Dale had a real nice car tonight, and we see Vince get off into the puckies here a little bit, spewing some dirt. He'll get right back on the track behind the 18 of Scotty Benedict. Don't ever count out the 17B of last week's winner, Bill Borden. He's going to move right up on Dale Darling's back end. And then Dale's going to develop a real push as he comes into 3 and 4 and get wide. He'll get back in line, but Billy Borden is going to take the lead in this race. Also, Dale gets a little squirrely again on the backstretch, and Scotty Benedict is going to get around him, and then Dale's going to get up into the berm. It looks bad, but he would continue throughout the night. Billy Borden comes down on the restart, leading Scott Benedict and Vince Vitale down into 1 and 2. Billy just has had a real strong car to finish off the 95 season. Scott would make a couple of attempts to get around him, but there was nothing doing because Billy Borden's going to pick up his second win of the 95 season, 2 in a row. Scott Benedict second, Vince Vitale third, Robbie Plants fourth, and Bob Mack comes home fifth. All right, we're here at Paradise Speedway. We're talking to dirt sportsman driver Bill Borden, the 17B Rascals machine. Bill, how you doing tonight?
Good, Tom, and yourself?
Doing real good. Well, let's talk a little bit about your career here. Now, you've been running for how many years?
This is my 5th year.
5th year. Now, you're winless so far this year, but we know last year you did have a feature win.
Yeah, we won 1 last year, and we had I think we had 13 top 5 finishes last year, and 4 of them were seconds. This year we just haven't got it together yet, but we're been up there in the top 5. We're looking for one, though.
How did you do in the points last year?
We were 3rd overall in points last year here.
Okay, so this year you said you've had a couple of setbacks.
Yeah, we seem to find the crashes we've had, and the money's been not as good as it was last year, too, but we'll get over that, and hopefully our luck's going to change around. We're going to be back up in there.
Now, for the last couple of weeks, we have seen you back up in the top 5. Any major changes?
No, we changed a few things on the car, but not much. Just, I think, getting a little bit more luck our way, and things seem to be happening for us a little bit, so hopefully the rest of the year will turn out good for us.
Now, how's the car feeling, huh? You like this car?
Yeah, it's a good car. A little beat up now, but like I say, it's a good car. I love the handle. It's a BRD chassis. It's a 93, and it handles like a glove usually. But like I say, we've had to do a few things this year. The track's been a little different, and with the new track tires and stuff, it's been a little bit changed for us.
Now let's talk about the track for a minute. You know, Paradise is pretty well known as having one of the nicer surfaces in the area. What are some of the other tracks that you've been running at?
Well, we mainly run here Friday nights, and because of the money we have, and but we've gone over to Weed Sport and stuff like that, and it's kind of rough over there. And this is usually pretty smooth. It slicks up this time of year, or it gets pretty hard, but it's a nice little track.
Certainly, the dry weather hasn't helped that any, with no rain, etc. When you're out there racing, what is it that that really turns you on the most?
Running wheel to wheel with the guys, and of course running up front. But I like running wheel to wheel with the guys, you know, and it's not just running away with it, but it's a lot of fun when you sit there and you run real wheel to wheel cleanly with the guys. That's what most excites me about it.
Great. Now, is there anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, my motor builder, Richie Sealy, Rich's Garage in Hates Road in Ithaca, New York, and Rascals is my major sponsor this year, and he's in Ithaca, and nice bar and grill there, and have a good time there. Just stop in sometime. Seneca Embroidery is a sponsor with us, and Caretaker Property Maintenance is a sponsor with us, and I'd like to thank all them guys, and both my brothers and my crew, and if it wasn't for them guys, we wouldn't be here.
Now, what about your family? I know you got some kids, and are they into it?
Yeah, the wife comes when she can, but she's been working Friday nights and a little bit there and watching the kids, and but we'll get her back over here a little bit. And I got 2 daughters. One's 4 years old and the other one's 10 months old, and hopefully they'll be into it sometime, I think.
Have they shown any interest yet?
They're pretty young yet. My oldest daughter kind of likes it a little bit, but we'll get her over here more often now since the weather's starting to warm up a little bit, and she don't fall asleep before my feature.
What are your future plans?
I'd like to move up to 358 sometime, and like I said, but that all depends on, you know, money and things like that, because we're talking a lot more money for the motors, but we hope to move up to 358 modified.
And if you could have the money and the time, where would you be?
I'd probably run Black Rock, I think, right now. It's, you know, close to home, get to feel the things and everything, and then I'd run a few shows there, but I think I'd probably mainly run over in Black Rock.
And what's your ultimate dream, though?
Run Big Black. I'd like to get into a Big Black sometime.
Since this feature was filmed, some weeks later, Bill Borden Goodrich was beginning to believe he couldn't do it. He went out and won himself a feature against some of the top sportsman runners in upstate New York. This was not a race of attrition. He beat Bobby Payne, Chuck Bauer, Jim Spano, and a host of others by having the strongest car on the track. Bill Borden has proved that the independent driver can win races against the big buck operations, and we here at Talkin Racing wish him the best and offer him our biggest congratulations for being able to take a feature win this year at Paradise Speedway.
Open Modified Championship Series made its return to Apple Valley Raceway this past Friday night after being rained out the previous Friday evening. Jan Leedy out of Williamson has more or less dominated the events down at Apple Valley Raceway in Williamson. Would it be again Jan Leedy night, Jan Leedy victory? Or if these other modified runners had anything to say about it, Jan would not be in victory circle at the end of the night. George Kent, the Duke of Kent as they call him, leads the point battle in the New York State Modified Championship Series, but Jan Leedy's right there on his tail. Right to the action, Larry Havens and Tom Zacharias lead the parade of Land Rockets into turn one down Apple Valley Raceway. Larry Havens will grab the early advantage. Tim Mangus could make that short rib though as he gets around Larry Havens to grab the lead. Right behind Larry, you see the Duke of Kent. George Kent, number 26, putting the pressure on Larry Havens. He would eventually get around him. As you see, he starts putting the pressure on Tim Mangus for the lead. These two put on a battle for many laps, and eventually George Kent would get him a little later on in the event. Here we see Jan Leedy pressuring Darrell Lewis in number 10, both local runners. Darrell out of Ontario, Jan out of Williamson. Jan, as I said, driving the seats for Danville. Number 77 would have his problems a little later on in the event. Here we see the battle for the lead. The Duke of Kent, George Kent, goes to the high side of Tim Mangus, and into turn 1 and 2. The Duke of Kent is going to drive around him and grab the advantage. And right behind him, you see a tangle with a bunch of the cars, including Jan Leedy in the 77. His night would be done. Tough break for Jan Leedy as he's running second in the corner. Back to the action. Buck Catalano is having a great run here with Darrell Lewis also right behind him. Buck in the 54, a local runner at Apple Valley Raceway, normally in the late model division. Here you see to the high side of Dan Kurbajuski with Darrell Lewis right behind him. But Buck would have tough luck here. You see him slow, 3 and 4. And Buck would have to go pit side to have that car ready. Once he got back to the racing action, Darrell Lewis was still on the move. He puts the pressure on number 21, Dan Kurbajuski. Also right behind him, Kenny Troyer. And Lee Sherwood in the 66. They're going to have great runs tonight. Battle for the second position. Ron Shepard has had great runs down at Apple Valley Raceway in the past. Gets around Tim Mangus in the number 3. And Ron Shepard is going to be trying to chase down George Kent in the number 26. As I said, Darrell Lewis in the number 10 is having a great run here as he gets around the 43 of Larry Havens for the 4th position. Lee Sherwood in the 66 is right on Darrell's bumper, and he's going to eventually get around Larry Havens as well. But Larry Havens, great run, ends a few laps later as you see him rush the wall. He's not going to go very far this way, so he's going to have to go pit side. He'll be out of the event. Darrell Lewis, once again, he's putting the pressure on Tim Mangus, who's running third at this point. And Darrell drives underneath Tim Mangus for the 3rd position. A few more laps, and Darrell may have caught the front 2 runners. Lee Sherwood in the 66, a regular Tioga runner, is going to get to the high side of Tim Mangus a few laps later. And he's going to grab the 4th position from Tim Mangus. But nobody was going to catch the Duke of Kent, George Kent, the number 26, currently leading the New York State Open Modified Championship Series. And this helped to pad his points lead. George Kent with the win over Ron Shepard, Darrell Lewis, Lee Sherwood, and Tim Mangus in 5th. Well, we also had a makeup feature for the NASCAR late model division. Billy the Kid Whitaker and Jason McDougal in double zero pace the field, and Billy the Kid looking for his first win after some tough breaks takes the early lead. A few laps into the event, Brian Thomas, in number 34, you're going to see him scrub the wall here. He's going to come back across the track. What Dave Engel, Fred Kenyon, who was back for his first week since '94, and Billy Whitaker Sr., who's in the 09. His son, Chris Bentley, is leading the event, and he's out there trying to have a little fun. Back to the racing action. After this mess is all cleaned up, the guys on the move, racing Dan Mason in the 04, defending track champion Dave Siles in number 51. Dan Mancunin is a little bit further back, bailing out the Buck Carolina. We see Dave Siles get under the 04, racing Dan Mason to grab the second position. He's going to start applying the pressure to Billy the Kid Whitaker in the 09 and show everybody out there why he is the defending track champion at Apple Valley Racing. The three yellow cars, Slat Slatter in 19, Buck Carolina in 54, and there's Dan the Man Cooney, currently leading the points down at Apple Valley Racing. Buck gets a little sideways. Dan tries to drive underneath him. Buck is going to hold off Dan's advances for the time being. You see him going down the backstretch. Buck Carolina grabs that position away. But the three of them are going to come together a little later on in the event. Tom Slat Slattery, Buck Carolina, and there's Dan the Man Cooney going around. Current points leader down at Apple Valley Raceway. They'll all be able to continue. Back to the racing action. Ensuing restart. Dave Siles in the 51. You see the car twitch. Something in the rear end breaks. They're going up into one, and Dave all of a sudden gets into the back of racing Dan Mason, and both cars make heavy contact with the outside retaining wall up there in turn one. They will be out of the event, but once we get back to the action, Buck Catalano putting the pressure on Slat Slatter. They come back up through the pack and get up there to a top 5 finish. But the two of them are going to come together, and there goes Slat Slatter in the exact same position where racing Dan Mason and Dave Siles made contact up here in the wall. And on lap 25, the rains again broke out, and checkers were put out for Billy the Kid Whitaker. He picked up his first career feature win at Apple Valley over Dan Koonman, Jason McDougal, John Juliker, and Dave Johnston. The remainder of the show is rained out, but be sure to be there next week for the final show of the season. Amy Catalano in the Super Stock Division of the Apple Valley Raceway. Mike Montgomery in the Street Stock Division of the Apple Valley Raceway. Mr. Excitement himself, Chuck Heaton, driving a dirt big block modified at Canandaigua Speedway on the dirt circuit. Matt Bowles-Lees, who competes in the Grand American Modified Division at Apple Valley Raceway, along with Timmy McMullen and Terry Cheatham, who also compete in the Grand American Modified Division. And a list that goes on and on with competitors like Brian and Chris Elliott, Kevin Carlson, David Bradshaw, Dan McCracker, Ryan Becker, and many more. Now tell me, what do all of these young, talented hot shoes have in common? Well, they're all drivers who started their career off as youngsters at the home of champions, the Sodus Microd Club. We at Talkin Racing in the Finger Lakes got a chance to make a visit on a night of competition recently and find out a little bit about the organization and about some of the kids who compete at the home of champions, the Sodus Microd Club.
Well, the Sodus Microd Club, Jimmy, is a family organization that is a youth racing, and it's great. It's ages starting at 6 and they go up to as high as 16, 18 years old. These are 3.5 to 5 horse Briggs & Stratton motors, and they even have 6 horse Briggs & Stratton motors. It's a great family affair, and that's what I like about it, and this is why I come down. I volunteer my time down here each Wednesday night here in Sodus at the Microd Club. The group are lovely people. They have a great time, and the youth racing is nothing but the best. It's a great time. The classes of cars, like we said earlier, they start at age 6, and you think that's, you know, awful young, but we have quite a few kids that race at age 6 here at the Speedway. They race a 3-horse Briggs & Stratton motor with a restrictor plate to try to keep the power down a little bit and keep the competition on the even side for that young age. As we move up through the ages, the classes get bigger and the motors get bigger. They go all the way up to a 6-horse class, and that where you'll find the open wheel division. These cars would be kids that could be as high as 16, 17 years old, and the competition is fast and furious. As they come up through the classes, the chassis are a tubular chassis with a wood body frame, and then we do have some classes with aluminum body frame, racing slick tires, 5-point racing harness. We've got all of the latest technology in suspension and racing equipment here at the Speedway. These guys do a great job. And the motors, well, they're not quite the same motor that you'd find on your Briggs & Stratton lawnmower at home. It's a little bit on the faster side, but my wife could cut the grass a little bit faster with one of these motors.
And to say that these kids put on some great racing competition is an understatement. They put the pedal to the metal and exchange paint just like the big guys and girls. See what I mean? Because these cars are built with stringent safety equipment, this youngster was A-OK and was even able to continue the race. I got a chance to talk with some of the kids who compete on a regular basis at the Sodus Microd Club. And here's what they had to tell me about why they enjoy it and where it may lead them. What do you enjoy most about your microd racing?
Just going out and having fun racing.
And will you continue to race as an adult?
Yes.
Do you know where you want to race?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I love the speed and feeling that I have power of the car.
Okay. Are you going to continue to race as an adult?
In 2 years I plan to race micro sprints, and from there I want to drive in Winston Cup.
What do you enjoy most about microd?
The fans and the competition.
And will you continue to race as an adult?
Yeah, next year.
Okay, what do you enjoy most about racing microd?
All the cars that are here, and how we get a lot of competitions, and people coming to watch, and it's such a popular sport, and it's going to go on to better racing, and I like it.
Okay.
I hope I can race 250 micro sprints just like my older brother David Bradshaw down in Paradise. I hope I can do it, because the track, they don't know if they're going to keep it open. It's really hard to keep it open.
What do you enjoy most about racing microd?
Just being behind the wheel of something that has an engine. It's gas powered and driving. Down at Apple Valley with street stock when I'm 16. That's right where I'm gonna go from 16.
Speed and the competition.
Okay. You want to race as an adult?
Yes.
And what would you like to race?
Stock cars.
Anything in particular?
At Daytona.
Having fun. I just like to get behind the wheel and just have fun. Get out there and just do whatever you can.
Okay. Do you want to race as an adult?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
What do you want to do?
Well, I want to be like a scientist and build stuff and stuff. Like a kind of different kind of jet ski and stuff.
Sodus Microd Club organization is ruled by a board of directors. It's voted on by its membership. Its membership is probably in around the range of 75 people strong. This membership, they do control the rules and regulations of the Speedway and also the competition. It's all volunteer, you know, there's nobody gets paid here. What I like about the Speedway, here's an opportunity for youth, like baseball, football, and many other sports, to get involved in racing. And we have seen many drivers catapult into other forms of racing, like NASCAR racing at Apple Valley Speedway, or the dirt circuit at Canandaigua or Paradise Speedway. So that's what I like about it, is the opportunities for youth to get started in racing and catapult into another sport, another form of racing, maybe on a little bit bigger stage. These stage, and I think these people that have moved up usually have a much easier time competing on the bigger circuit. So I've seen a lot of these people move up, and I've seen them doing a real good job. So I'm quite pleased with what happens here at the Sodus Microd Club and what we see in the future from this organization.
The 95 season has been completed at the Sodus Microd Club, but it's not too early to start thinking about the 96 season and beyond. This is a great way to lay the foundation for your child and family to become involved in a great racing experience. Not only will it give your youngster a thrill he or she will never forget, it will also give them a real sense of competition and teach them true sportsmanship. We had a great time being at the home of champions, the Sodus Microd Club, and want to thank everybody at the club for making us feel so welcome. If you'd like more information about the Sodus Microd Club, contact Nancy Homan at 716-377-6066 or Mary Beth Lees at 716-227-0447. Who knows, your child may be the next Jeff Gordon, Patty Moise, Dale Earnhardt, or Richard Petty. Attention race fans, there'll be a big country music jamboree to benefit Paradise Speedway Legal Fund. Your host band will be Country Smoke, plus 8 other bands. There'll be a colossal car show featuring race cars, show cars, antiques, go-karts, microds, boats, and pulling tractors, along with craft show, food and refreshments, and lots of fun. All this will take place Sunday, September 17th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Phelps Fireman Field on Ontario Street in Phelps, New York. Donations will be $5 for adults, $3 for seniors, and kids 10 to 15, a small price to pay to help Paradise Speedway's legal fund. For information, contact Mary Stetzel at 315-548-9532. That number once again, 315-548-9532. It's time for us to take a stand, save our speedway, and ultimately save our sport.